As technology continues to evolve, features once acquainted with flagship phones have since trickled down into more affordable alternatives. This couldn't be any more true than when it comes to the smartphone market. Nowadays, budget smartphones, particularly budget Android phones, can master the fundamentals of a great smartphone while not draining your bank account. You could get a fantastic phone for a great price, depending on which manufacturer you buy from. You just need to know where to look. Of course, finding that perfect deal can be tedious with so many different Android options on the market. It can also be confusing if you're unsure which processor, RAM and storage capacities, camera specs, and battery sizes to look out for. That's where we come in. Below, we've compiled a list of the best budget Android phones you can buy right now, depending on how much you want to spend and which features matter to you. This list covers a range of manufacturers and price points, so you can find what you need.
We have included links in the description for each product mentioned, so make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range.
Starting at number 1. Moto G Play. Fans of large screens will like the 6.5-inch, 90Hz display, despite its lack of brightness in direct sunlight. It's an LCD panel, but at this price, OLED screens aren't possible anyway. Under the hood, the 2023 Motorola Moto G Play replaces the 2021 Snapdragon 460 with a MediaTek Helio G37 and sticks with 3 GB of RAM. This combination will be sufficient when you're flipping through apps, touching up your photos, playing light games, and most tasks for the casual phone user. The Moto G Play also comes with 32 GB of internal storage, which may not be enough for everyone. Luckily, a microSD slot is available, so you can upgrade your storage as needed up to 512 GB. On the back, you'll find a 16MP rear-facing camera paired with a 2MP macro lens for clear close-up details in your photos. Photos taken with the G Play won't knock your socks off, but you shouldn't expect perfect pictures when you're saving this much money over typical flagship phone prices. Regardless, this device's photos should look good enough for Instagram and Snapchat. Number 2. Moto G Power. When it comes to battery life, Motorola has another solid option for cheap, the Moto G Power. This device, priced at around $250, offers a 5000 mAh cell paired with efficient specs that allow the phone to last 2 to 3 days on a single charge. When it comes time to recharge, there's a USB-C port on the bottom of the phone, which supports 15W fast charging. Motorola is able to achieve this with the proven efficient Snapdragon 662 processor. Qualcomm's Snapdragon 600 series has always been known for providing an incredible balance between performance and power efficiency, and the 662 inside the G Power is no different. The Moto G Power also comes with a sharp 6.6-inch 720p LCD display, up to 4 GB of RAM, and up to 64 GB of storage. You'll find 3 cameras on the back with a main 48MP lens, a 2MP macro lens, and a 2MP depth sensing lens. All 3 combined can help you take decent portrait mode and zoom photos, although things tend to fall apart at night and while recording video, which tops out at 1080p. Number 3. Google Pixel 7a. The Pixel 7 and 7a have a few trade-offs camera-wise, but not nearly as much as the previous generation. While the Pixel 7 has a larger sensor, each of the Pixel 7a's 3 lenses has a higher megapixel count, with 64MP f/1.89 wide and 13MP f/2.2 ultra-wide lenses on the back, and a 13MP f/2.2 lens on the front. The ultra-wide lens on the Pixel 7a also features a wider angle than the 7, which is great for outdoor photography. The Pixel 7a also features the typical niceties you'd expect from the camera on a Google phone, like the magic eraser feature that can remove people from the background of your photos. As with the previous generation, the Pixel 7 and 7a share the same chipset, in this case, a Google Tensor G2 chipset. The A series phones had less RAM in the past, but this isn't the case any longer, with each phone featuring 8 GB of RAM. There is more parity between the displays as well, with the 6.1-inch screen on the Pixel 7 is sharing the same 90Hz refresh rate as the 7's 6.3-inch screen. Number 4. Samsung Galaxy A54 5G. The 5000 mAh battery also performs admirably and will last through a day, even with heavy usage. You also get fast 25W wired charging support. But sadly, there is still no wireless charging. Another positive for the phone is its Exynos 1380 SoC, which packs tons of processing power. This results in smooth multitasking and an overall responsive experience. The Exynos chip is also suitable for gaming, and it will easily handle almost every game you throw at it. However, in graphics-intensive games like Genshin Impact, you may have to turn down the graphics settings for a completely lag-free experience. In other features, the A54's camera performance is good, but certainly not flagship level. You'll be able to capture excellent shots in good lighting conditions with plenty of detail. However, the smartphone struggles in low lighting as it allows visual noise to creep in and takes longer to lock autofocus. You'll also be happy to note that the phone runs on Android 13 with One UI 5.1 out of the box. And the company has promised to deliver 4 Android version updates and up to 5 years of security patches. This is even better than what Google offers with its Pixel phones. Number 5. OnePlus Nord N30 5G. Enter the OnePlus Nord N30, which might not be the most impressive phone ever, but strikes a good balance between cost and features. While it's clear that corners were cut by opting for a plastic body rather than metal and glass, this isn't a phone that looks cheap, as you can read about in our review of the OnePlus Nord N30. When it comes to budget Android phones, you often have to sacrifice design and build materials. However, the OnePlus Nord N30 doesn't look like a phone that only costs $300. This is thanks in large part to the flat sides, which is an aesthetic often reserved for fancier high-end phones. The N30 features a 6.72-inch FHD Plus display that is vibrant and does a fine job of reproducing colors. For some reason, OnePlus decided to go with LED rather than sticking with the OLED display on the N20, but unless you are downgrading from an AMOLED device, you shouldn't be disappointed. Inside the phone is a Qualcomm Snapdragon 695 processor, a CPU found in many modern budget phones, including the N20. Combined with Oxygen OS, based on Android 13, and the 8GB of RAM, it provides a satisfying user experience overall.